kids, it's Mrs. Newman again. It's been a couple of days since we've been together. I hope you had the very best of Easters and that you found a great way to connect with your family and with Jesus over Easter. I know that our family took it kind of slow and just enjoyed a nice family dinner. It was definitely different this year, but we certainly had a wonderful time celebrating our Savior this year. I'm going to read a story for you that was one of my favorites. I have a lot of favorite stories. I really do love literature. But this one's a story that takes place in China, and it's called The Empty Pot. I don't know if any of you have heard it before, but it's a story, and it has a really good moral at the end. So we're going to talk about that when I'm done. The Empty Pot by Demi. A long time ago in China, I'm going to move this so you guys can see a little better. A long time ago in China, there was a boy named Ping who loved flowers. Anything he planted burst into bloom. Up came flowers, bushes, and even big fruit trees, as if by magic. Everyone in the kingdom loved flowers, too. They planted them everywhere, and the air smelled like perfume. The emperor loved birds and animals, but flowers most of all, and he tended his own garden every day. But the emperor was very old. He needed to choose a successor to his throne. Who would his successor be? And how would the emperor choose? Because the emperor loved flowers so much, he decided to let the flowers choose. The next day, a proclamation was issued. All the children in the land were to come to the palace. There they would be given the special flower seed from the emperor. Whoever can show me the best in a year's time, he said, will succeed me to the throne. The news created great excitement throughout the land. Children from all over the country swarmed to the palace to get their flower seeds. All the parents wanted their children to be chosen emperor, and all the children hoped they would be chosen too. But when Ping received his seed from the emperor, he was the happiest child of all. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower. Ping filled the flower pot with rich soil. He planted the seed in it very carefully. He watered it every day. He couldn't wait to see it sprout, grow, and blossom into a beautiful flower. Day after day passed, but nothing grew in his pot. Ping was very worried. He put new soil into a bigger pot. Then he transferred the seed into the rich black soil. After 2 months, he waited. Still nothing happened. By and by, the whole year passed. Spring came, and all the children put on their best clothes to greet the emperor. They rushed to the palace with their beautiful flowers, eagerly hoping to be chosen. Ping was ashamed of his empty pot. He thought the other children would laugh at him because for once he couldn't get a flower to grow. His clever friend ran by, holding a great big plant. Ping, he said, you're not really going to bring the emperor an empty pot, are you? Couldn't you grow a great big flower like mine? I've grown lots of flowers better than yours, Ping said. It's just this seed won't grow. Ping's father overheard this and said, you did your best, and your best is good enough to present to the emperor. Holding the empty pot in his hands, Ping went straight away to the palace. The emperor was looking at the flowers slowly, one by one. How beautiful all the flowers were. But the emperor was frowning and did not say a word. Finally, he came to Ping. Ping hung his head in shame, expecting to be punished. The emperor asked him, why did you bring me an empty pot? Ping started to cry and replied, I planted the seed you gave me, and I watered it every day. but it didn't sprout. I put it in a better pot with better soil, but it still didn't sprout. I tended it all year long, but nothing grew. So today I had to bring an empty pot without a flower. It was the best I could do. When the emperor heard these words, a smile slowly spread over his face, and he put his arm around Ping. Then he exclaimed to one and all, I have found him. I have found the one person worthy of being emperor. Where you got your seeds from, I do not know, for the seeds I gave you had all been cooked, so it is impossible for any of them to grow. I admire Ping's great courage to appear before me with the empty truth, and now I reward him with my entire kingdom and make him emperor of all the land. Isn't that a great story? It must have taken great courage for Ping to show up in front of the emperor empty-handed. And it must have taken a lot of hard work to tend a flower and see no results all year long. I mean, how long do we work on things before we give up when they're not fruitful? So I think Ping teaches us a good lesson about having long suffering, being able to do something for a long time and work hard at it, even if we don't get the results that we think we should get. And it teaches us about being courageous to appear before the emperor empty-handed. And even better yet, he teaches us how to be honest, for he worked hard and gave his best. And when his best amounted to no flower, he owned up to that, and he came and he took the truth to the emperor. And you know what? Jesus, he just wants the truth in our heart. He doesn't want us to work or toil or try to prove ourselves to him. He just wants us to be truthful with him and to come to him with our hands empty and our hearts open and give him our lives to serve him. Do you have the courage to do that? Have you done that? Maybe you could talk to your parents about what it's like to serve Jesus and what it's like to come before the King of Kings and offer him your heart, because that's what he wants, just your heart. You are loved, NBC kids, and we will see you tomorrow with another bedtime story. Good night.